If you are a teacher, parent, administrator, student, and/or anyone who loves reconnecting children with nature, and you want to figure out how to cultivate learning gardens and nature-based curriculum, then this is the podcast, the Outdoor Classrooms podcast. My name is Victoria Hackett. I am the founder of Outdoor-Classrooms.com and the Secret Gardens Nature Classes. I love witnessing the magic that happens when children are playfully learning outdoors. Observing the return of wonder and curiosity when children are interacting with nature is pure magic. This is the podcast that is going to help you capture children's interest and give you not only inspiration, but some real life strategies that are going to help you figure out how to use the outdoor space, your outdoor space, as a teaching tool, so you can enlighten the playful learning experience for young children. Welcome to our Outdoor Classrooms community. Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to the Outdoor Classrooms Live. We are so excited. We're going to be doing this is a 5-day series called the Unlock the Secrets of Summer Teaching Gardens. I am so excited that you're here and I can't wait to dive in. So what I want to do is I want to make this like we are sitting in a coffee shop with our favorite beverage, which is tea for me. And I would love to just talk about our outdoor classrooms teaching gardens and what makes them so vibrant and exciting and why we need to have them in our outdoor classrooms. And I'm just absolutely thrilled and excited to be bringing this to you this week. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And what I also want to make sure and preface everything is many of us don't necessarily see ourselves as quote unquote gardeners, or I don't have a green thumb, or all of these sort of old beliefs. And so when you hear the word outdoor teaching gardens, you think, do I have to be a gardener to do that? I'm an educator or I'm a parent and I don't know if I can make that happen. Everything that I grow dies. So this 5-part series is my hope and gift to you to say just that we are all gardeners. We are all able to grow food. We're all able to grow pollinator gardens. So each day we're going to be talking about a different type of teaching garden. But what I want to preface this whole event with is that you do not have to be an expert gardener, an expert landscaper, an expert anything. And all you have to have with you is a passion for teaching outdoors and a curiosity and wonder. So I'm hoping that you will bring that along with you on our journey. So today we're going to be talking about gardens that attract wildlife. So we're not talking about gardens that attract big animals. We're talking about gardens that attract butterflies and bugs and worms and all those good wildlife that is good for our garden. So we are going to be talking about that and how we can incorporate this type of garden into our outdoor or our backyard teaching garden or wherever you want to be attracting wildlife into your outdoor space. So welcome, welcome. Again, this is day 1. First question I want to ask is, why wildlife garden? Why are they so important? Why should we incorporate this into our outdoor classroom space? So wildlife teaching gardens are a fantastic way to blend education, conservation, and hands-on learning. So if we are observing wildlife, if we are inviting children to really develop that skill, the best thing they can do is actually do it outside with real animals and observing what is happening. So there are 5 benefits of answering that question of why incorporate a wildlife garden into your outdoor classroom. There are 5 benefits, and we're going to first start with the first one, which is environmental awareness. So I was reading an article, it must have been last Sunday, I'm in Boston, so it was the Boston Sunlight Globe, and I think it was last Sunday, and it was this long, long, long article. I couldn't even finish it, but it was just all about how children are not going to school because they are so anxious. And it went on and on and on about how more and more children are spending their time at home because they can't get themselves to school because they're so anxious when they get to school or in school, or there's just something about being there that is causing them anxiety. So as you can imagine, that anxiety and depression and obesity and is all on the rise within our children. And so as I was reading this article, all I could think about was take them outside, create an outdoor classroom. If they can't get them to school, do it in your backyard. If you don't have a backyard, create a pot. Create something that will, again, it can be specific to what we're talking about today, attracting wildlife. What happens if that butterfly comes? What happens if we roll over a log and we find a worm or a bug? What happens when we make those connections with wildlife? It's pretty amazing. So what also happens when they make that connection, when any of us make a connection, so it's not just children, it's also adults and any human being, is there becomes an environmental awareness. Is therefore we are starting that relationship with the environment that is so necessary. We're learning and teaching about ecosystems. We're learning and teaching about the importance of biodiversity. Those are big words for young children, but we can simplify that. And the more that they are connected to nature, they're going to be developing that relationship. And the relationship, in turn, evolves into advocacy because they fall in love with nature and they want to there, in turn, as they get older and then can understand it, what's going on, then in turn they can become advocates. The second one is why wildlife gardens. It provides a beautiful opportunity for hands-on learning that you cannot get in an outdoor classroom or even in your home. So if you are teaching at home, if you're homeschooling, it is vital for all children to be outdoors in some capacity of outdoor learning. So I'm going to reveal a little bit about myself. I was, as a child, I did okay in school, but I was a hands-on learner. And the way that people were teaching me was not necessarily in that regard. I had to learn something and spill it out in an exam. I had to learn something and spit it out in an exam. And it wasn't the way that my brain works. The way my brain works is far more creative. I wanted to showcase my learning. I wanted to maybe dance it out or show it in some other capacity. But because I wasn't able to necessarily spit what I was learning, what I was being taught, out into an exam format, I spent many, many years thinking that I was not smart, that I was not up to par, that I was not X, Y, and Z. And so I'm here to tell you that we all learn differently, whether you're a child, whether you're an adult, and figuring out what style of learning that you learn best in is what we need to do. And as educators and teachers, we do not want to teach in our own learning style. We want to teach in many, many, many different learning styles. And this is what we can do in our wildlife garden, in all of our 4 types of teaching gardens. But today we're talking about our wildlife garden, is that we can enhance students' science experiments, enhance students' real-life observation. All of those skills can be enhanced by planting a pollinator garden, and witnessing the animals that are going to be attracted to those spaces. It's magic. I mean, it truly is. And I have read over and over and over, creating these spaces is what I see also is going to be what saves the world, is going to be the more that we can plant, the more that we can harvest, the more that we can attract these butterflies and create homes and for these small animals, then they are going to live on and pollinate our plants and work the system. So that's number 2. Number 3 is conservation education. So we talked about environmental education. Now we want to talk about conservation education. And this is where we are incorporating sustainable practices into our garden practice and therefore teaching our children how to protect native plants, how the importance of planting native plants as opposed to just any old plant, because the native plants are the ones that are going to help the animals that we're trying to attract. So if we can learn what those native plants are and how to plant them, then that's where we can flourish as not only in an outdoor classroom, but in our communities, in our state, and so and eventually our country and our world. It just takes a little effort. So figuring out and getting that knowledge is vital. And one of the things I'll just tell you now is one of the things that we're going to be doing this summer is we are going to be opening up the Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass, where you will be getting plant lists and you will be getting all of the information that you need to plant a pollinator garden in either your backyard or your school, or what plants to plant, how to plant them, where to plant them, and what type of animals that they attract, and also various activities you can do inspired by your wildlife garden. So it's all very exciting. So number 4 is that we talked a little bit earlier about my story about reading about the children that were anxious about going to school, and that there's actually a huge percentage of kids that are just not being educated because they can't get to school, and for some reason not being homeschooled either. So the mental and physical health of children being outdoors, especially in a garden that attracts wildlife, reduces stress, improves mood, increases physical activity, and these wildlife gardens provide a serene environment. So I work with schools, I work with different families, and it's so interesting to me that I was actually just got off the phone with somebody and who wants me to work with her in her backyard, and she was talking about, we have this beautiful space, but we never go out there and we don't really use it. So, and that means that things aren't planted necessarily in the right place. It's not relaxing. And it might be a space that is causing stress because it's just, there's just too much to do, or it's too overgrown, or whatever it is. You want to be able to get to a point where you are going out to a space, especially the gardens that attract wildlife, where you can just take your cup of tea, in my case, take your tea in the morning and just sit and enjoy. I was gardening this past weekend, and oh my goodness, it was a gift. It was a gift to be out there, and especially early in the morning when the chorus of birds, I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it. The chorus of birds is like no other. It's just miraculous to just listen to them, and then to get to the point that you actually can recognize the birds and the set bird calls and which bird is which and so on and so forth. So there's that whole component, and it's very, very exciting. So thinking about the mental health, that it's proven that there is research around that these types of gardens reduce stress. And with so much anxiety and all of this happening, that to think that, wow, if maybe we spent a little bit of money buying a few native plants and learning how to plant them effectively so they survive, wouldn't that be amazing? An amazing gift to a child. So the 5th one is inspiration and creativity. So when we are immersed in nature, in a natural setting, This can spark curiosity and creativity. It can inspire an absolute love for the environment and potentially lead our children into careers of science, conservation, and even education. So imagine if we ourselves as educators and or parents, that we are passionate about creating a positive impact, a wildlife teaching garden, that it could be a wonderful, wonderful project to consider this summer. So it's actually a beautiful way to connect people with nature and foster a sense of responsibility towards the environment for our children. So the third component that I want to talk about today is answering some of the questions that I have received. Here they are. One of the questions is, what are the basic components needed to create wildlife-friendly gardens? So there's a couple components, and we dig in a lot deeper into all of these questions in our Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass, which will be kicking off July 3rd. And it's a hybrid class that's both has pre-recorded videos and whatnot on our platform, the private platform, and we also have live sessions as well. But to answer this question, how can we create a wildlife-friendly garden? We can, as I've been saying, we can add native plants from our specific regions that will provide the necessary food and shelter for the local wildlife in our area. Animals need a water source, so it could be a pond, it could be a bird bath, it could simply be a water dish, and that will attract a variety of animals. There's nothing better than seeing a bird flutter around and splash in the water. It's, again, magic. Animals also need shelter in their outdoor spaces. They providing areas where they can hide, like shrubs and logs and rock piles and maybe even birdhouses. And they also need food sources, so a variety of flowers, shrubs, trees that will produce the nectar, like berries and seeds and nuts that they're going to be needing to survive. So this is just a few. This is just, again, we go far more in depth in all of this within our Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass, and it also includes a variety of activities that you can do with your children to get them involved in all of these components of attracting wildlife. So the next question I got was, how can I attract birds to my garden? So I can't say enough about the beauty and the benefits of attracting birds. There's nothing better than going out in the morning and listening to their chorus. It's incredible and magical and something that is just, again, another gift. So to attract birds, you're going to need food. So whether it be bird feeders with seeds or nectar or fruit-bearing trees and shrubs, like I said before. And same thing, they're going to need water, so maybe bird baths. And they're going to, again, need shelter and nesting materials. So same type of thing that I had said before, and that they also will attract birds. It's really fun with children to learn more about birds and to learn about the different types of birds and their bird calls. There's wonderful app to incorporate that into their worlds and your teaching. And again, you do not have to be an expert. You do not have to be an expert birder to introduce birding to your children. I am by far not an expert birder, but I am curious enough to learn how to be a better birder than I was yesterday. So that's all we're asking, is that we become curious enough that we can enhance our outdoor teaching practice. So the next question, what plants are best for attracting butterflies and bees? So there's so many different plants, and again, we have plant lists in our Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass, but just a few here to attract butterflies, which is so, so, so important, is milkweed, cone flowers, latana, marigolds, and asters are wonderful plants. And again, we have a whole additional plant list in the Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass. For bees, we have lavender, borage, sunflowers, rosemary, and clover. I see many, many, many people for their lawns just giving their lawns up to being clover lawns, which is such a gift to our bees, which is so, so necessary. Okay, next question is, how can I create a garden that supports pollinators? And again, we will have many, many plant lists, but to support the pollinators, we want to create plant diversity. And what does that mean? That means that we want to include a variety of flowering plants that bloom throughout the season, so not just summer. And again, we have 4 seasonal masterclasses here in our Circle membership. You can get them individually if you want, but if you want to get them all together, they have plant lists for all 4 seasons. And maybe not so much in the winter, but there are plants that you can be growing in the wintertime indoors to prepare for the next season. So, and also to limit pesticides. Pesticides is a big no-no, but we have also wonderful organic and non-toxic alternatives to helping with that, because the pests are tricky, and how to work with that. We want to provide a habitat. It includes nesting boxes, dead woods or bees. And again, the water source. As you can see, the water source keeps coming up in all the answers, which means it's really important to provide water for our animals that we're trying to attract. So not just one, again, in my outdoor classroom, the Secret Gardens, I don't have just one bird bath. I have a couple opportunities for them to either bathe, and a lot of different plants to choose from. So it's no wonder that when I go out there, it's this beautiful haven of bird song, because I've worked over the years. It's not going to happen overnight. I've worked over the years to bring that to them. All right. So the next question is, our final question is, what should I avoid in a wildlife-friendly garden? So we want to avoid invasive species, that they're terrible. So we learn, again, what are they? We want to avoid chemical pesticides and herbicides. We want to avoid monocultures. Just that's planting one plant and only one type of plant. That limits the variety of wildlife. So we want to diversify, and we want to avoid overly manicured gardens. What I love, love, love about especially working with children, and especially creating gardens with children, is that they look like they're made and done by children. They're not perfect. They're not manicured. They're not. We planted bulbs in the fall, and they're all over the place. And so, but they provided beautiful blooms for our wildlife. And again, just, it does not have to be perfect. And that's where the grace comes in. I think when we work with children, there's a wonderful grace that it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's, I'll just go right straight to the beginning of this conversation, where we don't have to be experts in being a birder expert, or a naturalist expert, or an expert landscape designer. We don't have to be any of those things. We really just need to open the door and go outside. And if you are looking for more information, if you're looking for support, if you're looking for, okay, I got my why, and that's all about what this conversation is about, to really understand the why and the importance of why we should be planting gardens that attract wildlife and these pollinator gardens. Come into and join us for the Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass. I'm so excited about it. In this particular module, we're going to have a whole module on gardens that attract wildlife. I will be planting and taking you along with me a new pollinator garden. So I'll be getting all new plants and showcasing exactly how it should be done. I will also take you into the Secret Gardens Outdoor Classroom and showcase existing pollinator gardens that are already planted, and what type of animals are being attracted. So we're seeing butterflies showing up, and we're seeing and how we are creating worms, homes for worms. And I have one little guy that comes to our secret gardens that absolutely was loving searching for bugs. So this was just something that we made sure that we had spaces where he could explore those bugs. And so lots of logs and lots of different places. It's an incredible community. We have educators from all over the country and the world joining us. So that is one thing. So you can, first you can learn more about the Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass at our website. If you go to www.outdoor-classrooms.com, you can get more information about the Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass. There are 4 different types of seasonal masterclasses that are included in our Circle membership. If you're interested in joining the Circle membership, you will get those 4 masterclasses as a part of it. The 4 masterclasses are also a part of our upcoming Outdoor Classrooms teacher certification. So all of this, again, I want to honor your time and energy and commitment to creating an outdoor classroom in that you deserve to be commended for that. So you're really working towards an incredible certificate. And more on that later. I also would like to, if you're still on the fence and you want to get to know our community better, we are inviting our greater community. We have a book club that's within our Circle membership, which we are so excited about. We have been reading Balanced and Barefoot by Angela Hanscom, which is, I've been listening to it and believe it's a must read. It should be required reading for everybody, but specifically for people that are working with children, whether you're a parent or an educator or an administrator or principal, whoever you are. I believe it should be required reading. And Angela Hanscom is going to be coming into our Circle community and talking to us. And that is going to be, and so I decided, you know what? And actually not just me, but our Circle community decided, what if we opened it up, and they invited the parents in their communities, and I opened it up to the larger community to come join the conversation. So that's exactly what we're doing. So on July 9th at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have this discussion with Angela Hanscom herself. And she is going to, I'm going to be collecting questions to ask her. So if you haven't read her book, first read her book. And if you would like to join us, sign up on the Outdoor Classrooms homepage and get on the list, and you will be sent a link to the call. It's completely free. Angela's been gifting us her time, and I want to make sure that as many people read her book as possible because it's truly amazing. So again, go to www.outdoor-classrooms.com. And you can see on the top of the page, you'll see just where to put your name and email, and you'll get the email. You'll get the link sent to you. I'm so excited. If you're already on the mailing list of Outdoor Classrooms, you will automatically get the link as well. So you can spread the word to the parents in your community if you're really trying to get them to understand the why behind why getting outdoors and creating these outdoor teaching gardens is so important, creating outdoor classrooms and why it's so important. Angela Hanscom and the book Balanced and Barefoot has really combined. She's an occupational therapist. She's really eloquently written the why, really and truly, and as an occupational therapy, what is happening to our children. So those are two items which I strongly advise you to check out. So we first have the kickoff, which is July 3rd, for the Exploring Nature in Summer Masterclass, which is absolutely wonderful. And that feeds into so many other exciting things within our community. And the second thing is our free live conversation with Angela Hanscom, who is the author of Balanced and Barefoot. And you can sign up. If you're not a subscriber to our newsletter already, go to the website and get on that list and make sure that you get the link. I'm so excited about these upcoming events. I am excited that you are here. And again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening, and get out there and enjoy your gardens that attract wildlife. Talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for joining us here at the Outdoor Classrooms podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with anybody who you think would enjoy it, and follow us on Instagram. We'd love to continue the conversation. If you want to continue the conversation even deeper, please join us in the Circle community. The purpose of the Circle is to support, guide, and push you as you continually grow and sustain your outdoor classroom by providing the tools to help you set the right goals, then actually follow through in achieving those goals with the support of our amazing community. Each month, 24/7, you get guidance and support from myself. You get to begin your journey with our new member roadmap. You get access to our outdoor teaching boot camp. You get to interact and learn from guest experts who are on our podcast. They come into our membership and join us to continue the conversations. You get to connect and collaborate during 2 live sessions a month. You get access to all our online workshops and masterclasses. You get to dig deeper with our membership missions each month, and you get to become an ambassador of joy for children. I hope you can join us. You get all of this. You get to become a member of our family at Outdoor Classrooms. So I hope you can join us. I will share the link in the show notes, and we'll see you later. Come join us.